Fiction, science fiction, horror, fantasy, crime, LGBT, thriller.
You have now entered the House of Mystery.
Welcome back into the House of Mystery. I'm Al Moore, and we've got Mr. Michael Hawley in the house, co-hosting.
That is correct.
You know, I was just thinking the other day. I was watching TV, and all these Christmas commercials are already starting. Did you see that? I noticed that they have these smart refrigerators now. Do you see that? I see some of the ads, and it goes right to the phone.
As in like AI?
Yeah, but it's kind of crazy because it shows that everybody's happy. They're in the supermarket. They can just ask their fridge if they need carrots or whatever they need, milk, and the fridge looks at it and tells you it's a smart fridge, so it can tell you you've got a half a gallon of milk or you got 2 carrots or do whatever.
It goes to your phone?
Yeah, it goes to your phone. It even sends a picture.
I think that would have hang-ups.
Yeah, I would be worried. Well, I'd be worried.
Sorry.
It's like, yeah. Oh. And not only that, does it tell you if the food's bad or, hey, Al,
That'd be interesting.
Your fridge stinks. Anyway, I don't know. I just thought I don't know if I would use it. Maybe it's a sign of me getting old, I guess.
Yeah, baby boomer stuff.
I'm Gen X. Don't blame me on boomers.
Hey, I'm baby boomer, though. I think it's baby boomer.
No, Gen X. You're on the border. You went boomer.
We're borderline.
I went with X because I'm a slow starter. Now, speaking of AI, we've got a writer who's written a cozy mystery, and it kind of covers cyber and cozy and AI and everything. So maybe she's got a fridge too that's smart. But the book is called Let Sleeping Dogs Lie. And it's a Hope and Pip cozy cyber mystery. That's Jocie McKade. So thank you for being here.
Well, thank you very much for hosting me.
So Jocie, have you got a smart fridge yet?
Oh, golly, no.
I mean, they make it look so good. Like everyone's smiling and laughing and having a good time in the supermarket, and they've got their dog in the cart, and then do we need this? And they click, and then the fridge goes, you need milk. And it shows a picture, and I'm thinking, I don't know that I would use that. Am I just getting old? Is that it?
Oh, I don't think age has anything to do with it. I think I really just don't want a refrigerator smarter than I am.
Well, the problem with the fridge is they give you a cold shoulder. And
that's true.
I'm sorry.
They freeze you out a lot.
Oh, boy.
That's cool.
Bad. Yeah. Oh, geez. I'm going home. That's it. Waiter, check, please. Out of here. No, actually, so this book, you kind of cover the cyber world in a cozy mystery. So do you kind of take on things like that? Do you have to kind of like study the new smart world and AI and all that sort of stuff?
Well, I do. I mean, I have worked in electronics, so to speak, but I'm not very versed in AI and exactly how it works. So I've had to do some research. So when the FBI, CIA, whatever comes and knocks on your door and says, do you know this person? Just deniability. But mostly the tech is kind of secondary in the book. At its heart, it is a cozy mystery, one bloodless dead body and the reasons behind it. But I also love thriller novels. So a lot of my readers tell me, oh, honey, you're not a cozy mystery writer. You're a cozy thriller writer. I've had to take dead bodies out before because I was kind of stacking them up. But it's an evolution because AI is a part of our lives. I don't think it's going anywhere. And, there's a line in the book where the main character, Hope, her father was killed in the line of duty. He was a detective. And one of the lines that she says is, I wish my dad had had a Pip with him. So we've seen applications because Pip is a robotic dog with the military and defensive things. But what if they were actually a human helper, someone who could help anybody that might have a handicap or a disability, a guard dog for the home, that type of thing. And so that's kind of where Pip was born, with that mindset.
When you write the books, and you have a main character or a couple of characters that are main, how is it that you write those characters? Like, how do you experience them or see them or feel them, or what's your personal way of achieving that character to come out on the page real?
I think most of the time I'm like a closet secret agent and too cowardly to be one. So many times these characters get that persona. They're brave enough to go in the building where I'd be like, you go in. I will never be the woman in the film in the marabou slippers that goes, is anybody here? I'm hiding in the closet. So, a lot of the characters are based on people that I know, just little characteristics that help flesh out their personality, and fantasy. No one's ever accused me of being a writer, to be honest with you. I'm a storyteller. I love to tell stories. I've told stories since I was old enough to talk. And, there's an old saying, and I'm paraphrasing here, by Mark Twain, who said, the world loves lobster and wine, but the world can afford water and bread. So I'm the water and bread writer. So.
Well, so your friends that you write make these into characters or use ideas of characters. Any of them you've killed off?
Actually, yes.
See? Yeah, let's get some names and phone numbers, and you'll get them on the line.
Actually, she was one of my readers. I was at a signing event. We've become good friends since, and I had a contest for my readers that said, if you want to be a victim in a book, put your name in here, you be in the book. But remember, I'm not sure how I'm going to kill you off. And she was very excited when she won. And I killed her off by a beer allergy, and she went, oh, hell no. I was like,
oh my gosh.
Oh, that's sacrilege to Michael there.
Oh, that's my favorite stuff.
Yeah, so she was like, of all things, beer, because she is a big beer. She's from Wisconsin, and she's a big beer lover. So.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Now, what point of view do you write this from? Like, who's doing the talking in the book?
It's actually in 2 points of view. One is third person telling the story in the background, and Hope Remmie, the main character, talks in first person. So I have to really watch switching back and forth. But I wanted to kind of get inside her head because she's not very accepting of this dog and an AI conscience that comes with it. So she's very skeptical and doesn't believe it. But when a friend of hers from college is murdered, she agrees to help solve the murder. A one-time thing. That's it. Fine. This is real. I'll help you. And then, of course, it evolves into, there's another dead body. So
It always does,
Yeah.
How do you write the AI point of dog? Like, how do you create that personality? Just to take it after another dog or an actual person? Like, was that hard for you to do?
A little bit, because as the story evolves and the series, because I'd hope to do at least a 3-book series evolves, more things that he is capable of and capable of learning will come out in the book. But as a given, he's just a dog at heart, and he's been given a lot of technology that makes him very close to the personality of a real dog. And, I have a border collie sitting here beside me. I call the world's calmest border collie because she is, border collies, Australian shepherds, they're notorious for being, zoomy, high energy, just short of being a Belgian Malinois for craziness. And she's not. She kind of sits, watches everything, looks, and I think she's got the vocabulary of about a 5-year-old, which is very scary. So we've taken to spelling things around her.
Yeah, don't give her the car keys.
Oh no, if she had opposable thumbs, she'd rule the world.
Yeah. Well, so in a cozy, right? So there's there's no description of violence or sex usually in cozies, right? It's just sort of what happens and how it goes. You don't go into the details, do you?
No, not really. I mean, there's little details as far as cause of death, but it's not graphic and it's not bloody. And same way with the romance. She's rekindled a little bit from a former, romantic partner. But it's very open door. I mean, they don't even close the door. They're just, on the couch trying to figure out how to kiss. Because they're rekindling it, I also wanted to take it slow. And most of my books, in fact, pretty much all of them, it's kind of the Hallmark version of a murder mystery. And as I said, I just like the story and telling the story. So
with this kind of a book. And you said you're going to be doing you wanted to do a 3-part series or maybe more or something like that. How do you kind of plan that ahead of time? Are you one of those that has everything kind of written out, kind of an overview of what you're going to do and how it's going to happen, and just fill in the details as you go?
No, I'm truly the person that needs that smart refrigerator. To remind me, I'm the one that will leave the list on the door when I go in the store. But actually, I was hoping to do at least one book. I wanted to do more, but since it is a very different type of cozy mystery and it does incorporate technology, I wasn't sure how it would play, how it would be received, if I could ride, this robotic dog with a personality. So once I did that and wrote it and got a few people's reviews back that they really liked it, I was like, well, okay, maybe I can do a series with this. Because it's been
then you'd have the voice of the dog, right? Like that. That'd be tough.
Yeah, and the dog doesn't speak, so everything is done. Oh. I call him like a Vulcan. Everything is done with like the eyes and absolutely no emotion. But his eyes do change color. So
okay.
Well, there you go. It happens all the time. Well, so I can't help now. When you do a story like this, you kind of have the idea and all that. But do you have a subtext? Do you have a meaning underlying in the story? Is there something that you kind of hope people catch when they read this?
Basically, the humanity of it. I think sometimes we're so enamored with the technology, we forget the humanity behind it. And I think AI has its place, and I think it will be helpful, but I think we also forget the creativity of whether it's a writer, an artist, or, an AI engineer, we forget the creativity that goes behind it. And while I think it's going to be a benefit and a help to many people, I truly hope it does not overcome the creative process of humanity. And honestly, I think there's probably going to come a point in the not too distant future where some of the gray areas are going to have to be legislated and laws will have to be formed to keep it from overwhelming many things.
Well, we're in a Terminator movie. That's what's happening. They're taking us over.
Well, there you go.
I got Pip, but he'll protect me, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he'll let you know what's coming.
That's right.
He won't say it. He won't speak it though. Just in his eyes.
It's just in his eyes. Yeah.
Well, so I noticed. So when you say you write in the third person telling the story, plus then also Hope, your main character, so you've got two points going on like that. Do you do that to kind of create suspense as well? Like, does the reader know things ahead of Hope before Hope knows them?
Occasionally, but usually they find out with her when something happens. There's a break-in in her house, and they find out the minute that she does. And like me, she wants to go hide in the closet, but no, she's the brave one actually. And so that also lends itself to showing what kind of abilities Pip has that she has not known about previously. So they pretty much find out with her. The only thing, in the back,
a military dog, then, huh?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. She doesn't know all of the abilities, and they just show up randomly. And he does work to protect her because she has saved him, basically. She saved him from a group of bullies, is how the book starts. And he follows her home, quite literally. So.
Kind of like Michael's story. That's what.
Follow anybody home. So that's just
Yeah, you give him a beer and he follows you home.
Yeah, not poison me, though.
Yeah, there you go. I can't knock him off and poison him with beer, right?
No. Well, you can try. So now listen, when we get into the story, how do you write your dialogue? How does that work with you? How do you get that down on the page?
Actually, I would probably make a better screenwriter than a novelist. I'm very good with dialogue. I'm not quite as good with description. If they're in a room, I'm like, it's an office, and then take off with the dialogue, and people are going, what's the office look like? I'm like, I don't know, they're just in an office. So and I wrote scripts. I've written book video scripts, book trailers, that kind of thing. So I have to really step back and add in description. So generally my dialogue comes first, and then I go, well, I should describe where they are and what they're doing and what the character looks like, because quite often I neglect to do that. And fortunately, I have a couple of readers who are also my early book readers who tell me that, what did you do with this character? You left him out here somewhere. And I'm like, crap, I did. So that's exceptionally helpful, but the dialogue tends to be very much first for me.
Didn't you sort of sit there and hear the characters as you're doing the dialogue? Like, is that kind of how you do it? Like,
I do. There's all kinds of voices in my head. I do.
Great. Yeah. They don't let you drive, do they?
Occasionally.
Wow. No, so you're sitting there, and then so you can hear Hope and you can hear the other characters as you're going through the story, and you kind of develop a voice for that character, right?
I do. Yes. I hear what they say, and then all of a sudden, also I like to torture them slightly by not letting them say what they really need to say, or maybe part of what they know is a little hidden. The reader might know, but the main character does not. Yeah, once I start into it, I have been known to slip into accents when I'm writing a book, so getting into character.
Wow, you dress up like them too? Like
No, I just suddenly, well, you have to understand, I'm from Ohio, raised north, and all of my family is from the South. So I have a series called Mason-Dixon with two sisters, one from the North, one from the South. And it's kind of like my duality, because all of a sudden I'll slip from, hey, y'all want to do this, to you guys want to go? Sometimes it can be very confusing talking to me.
Wow. Yeah. So then do you also picture your characters? Do you have an image of them in your mind? I
do, and I always have a notebook where I write the ideas, and I find photographs on the internet, whether real or sometimes a couple of them created by AI, but I keep a notebook. I keep them in the notebook. Sometimes I see, actors and actresses that I think would be good at that part, and I kind of, parrot them from different movies they've been in, as far as physical things, if they throw a hand here, rip their glasses off, blah, blah, blah. So, I do that. I don't try to copy anyone, but using different traits that they have is quite fun, and it makes, I think, a more well-rounded character.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think for you, what's been the hardest thing about writing, let's say, this book itself?
Well,
or the most challenging?
The most challenging would be probably the AI, the science part of it, because there will be people that read it who are very well versed in the technology. Although I try to keep it at a minimum, I do have to make it look like I sort of know what I'm talking about. And so probably researching that, even though I love computers and I've dealt with them, I'm quite vintage for many years. But some of the newer softwares and the AIs and the smart things, I'm not as well versed in. So, I've really had to do some research to make sure when I say this, it sounds correct. And I've asked a friend whose son is now in college getting a computer science engineering degree, is this correct? Just this one package, do I have it correct? And that's quite helpful too.
Yeah, I guess it would be, Floppy disks are gone,
The 5.5 or the 3.5?
That's right.
Yeah.
I still don't know why they call them hard disk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or floppy. The hard disk. The 3.5.
Yeah.
Windows 5 or whatever.
The first computer I ever used, I wrote DOS string, so...
Oh, God.
Yeah. I was actually at an internship job when I was 15, and it was for the United States Air Force, and they taught me how to write DOS.
Wow.
Yeah.
Things change fast in that world. So that kind of makes it hard, too. If you get too detailed in your book about stuff like that, it's going to change in an instant.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I tried...
Well, that's a question, though. I was just wondering, do you do historical fiction, too? So then you'd have to go back in time to kind of mimic that? Or is it always to the present? Or
my very first book was a historical fiction set in ancient Rome. So,
oh, okay.
I like history. And then all of the rest of them have been modern day. But that one was just one because I had read many books on Rome and it was kind of fun to write. And yes, I had to do researches then because it's set basically in 80 AD. And I'm like, did they have glass windows then? You know, so yeah, and still the lifestyle then was kind of to the back of the characters. You know, my books are very character driven. So going to that, even though I had to research, you know, how they lived, how their houses functions, and what they ate, the characters were still at the forefront.
Well, now you've met Mike, you can just call him because he was around back then. He's that old.
Only a couple months older than Al. That's it.
He was around. Anytime you need some historical, he was there. You know, before power and lights. And
there you go.
Yeah, I met Jack the Ripper, so.
Yeah.
Well, that was a little later than Rome, but
just a little.
Well, actually, my one of my fiction novels is that he's immortal, so he was there.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I have a very good friend who writes an Adam Frankenstein series who he's immortal. So.
Oh, okay.
Wow, all this stuff, man. Well, so what's your favorite part of writing?
Just the storytelling part. I have those characters. I want to tell this story, and getting the story down is just fun. I get very excited about it. Excited when the character sees something, and etc. That's fun to me. I have never been one of those people that suffers from writer's block. Have much gratitude for that. I am one of those who has so many stories in their head I can't get them down fast enough and live real life.
Yeah. Wow. Well, so you don't have to put yourself in a certain place. Like, you know, some people need, like you can just sit down and write. You don't have to have the right day and the right mood and the right thing going on. You're able to just write.
Oh, yes. I mean, from the start of my writing, I've worked for newspapers. I've done advertising, marketing, you know, kids. And I had no problem sitting in bleachers at a sporting event writing because I had deadlines. And, you know, that was the way I was making money. So I can sit anywhere. I can sit in the car. I can sit in the bleachers. I can sit in a crowded room. It's a rare bird for me to sit in a quiet office and write.
Chasing goats?
Yeah, you're right. When you chase goats, I don't know why.
Well, there's that, yes. So this one was the neighbor's, not mine. I got over chasing mine, but yeah.
Well, there you have it. You know, you learn it all here. So what do you got going next? Like, what's going to happen now? Or now that this is all done, are you starting on the second one now, or you got some other project?
The second one is probably 3/4 of the way done. So it should be out in February is what I'm hoping for by the time it's finished and edited and polished. At the same time, I also have a real thriller that I'm writing that includes a stalker and a murderer and an author. So that one's going to be in between there as well.
Is it a cozy one? Cozy murder?
No, it's not cozy at all. My dark side comes out in this one.
Oh, boy.
All those thriller novels and, you know, John Rain novels and all of those, yeah, they're just coming right through.
It's all coming out now. Well, do you find that your characters, do you have to write them differently then when you do like a thriller like that that's all out as compared to a cozy?
Oh, I do. Yeah, they have to be much more vicious. And by nature, I'm not a vicious person, so it takes me a lot to write somebody who's mean and vicious and carries out these kind of things. It's very difficult for me to do that.
How do you get in that mood? Do you go out to the DMV and wait in a lineup, or like what?
I should try that.
what do you do to get into that kind of frustrated mood where you can spat out? I mean, that would be kind of cool. Just hang out in the DMV for a couple of hours. You know?
Actually, that might be a very good idea.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like a story load. The story almost downloads into my brain, and I have a time typing it out, and then I have to flesh it out to make it look coherent. But it's the first time I've ever written one like that, so I guess I'll have to let you know once it's written.
Yeah. It's do you ever look back at your stuff and kind of go, oh, do you ever look back at an older book that you've done a few years back or a different time and reread it and go, oh, geez, if I could do this now, I'd do it this way?
I do, and because most of mine, I mean, I was with a publisher, but now I'm indie published, so I do fortunately can go back and fix some things. But I do also like to do it because I see how far I've come. It's like with any profession or creative activity, you do the first one and you're like, oh, okay, I got a little talent. It doesn't look bad. And then by the 12th one, you're like, man, that first one looked bad.
Yeah.
And because with anything, you have to do it. You have to do it in order to be better at it.
Right. Yeah. You learn because when you go through each book, now it's this, I don't know about you, but each time I go through a book, like from beginning to end, and then once it gets published, I think it's sort of changed me. So when I go to write the next book, I will be a different person writing that because I've lived through this last book. I don't know if that's the same for you.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Because you're at a different place in your life or a different part of the story. And I absolutely agree with that. It does change you.
Yeah. Well, you live through your characters in a sense to make them real, and you kind of go through what they do and you feel what they feel. And then at the end of it, it's like they're real friends. Like your friends went through this and you know it. You know what I mean? It kind of adds to who you are, I think.
Oh, it does. And just when you think they've got it handled, you're like, no, let's not let them handle that, which kind of mimics real life. How many times have you been out there and you're like, this is going great, boom, 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 and then you have 5 Mondays in a row. So, but, and I also think it gives me insight that sometimes you're living through another person's life, walking in their shoes, essentially. And even though you're making them up, it still gives you a different perspective on another person's life. And I think sometimes it makes you take a step back and go, maybe I judged too quickly, or, maybe I should have thought more about it or about that person.
I think that's really the goal in life anyway. It should be, is to understand others to help us understand ourselves, right? It's kind of a circular thing. And,
yes.
Well, you know what, though? I'll be curious to your beta readers, your readers that are usually reading your cozy ones, when they read that one upcoming book that you have in your mind, they're going to look at you like, oh, my gosh, she's lost it. She's a killer now.
They probably will. What happened to you? It kind of goes back because I do have a little romance series, and when I went to book signings for it, we would ultimately have people that go, oh, do you, and mine were not graphic, you have to understand. Do you all do the things that are in this book or whatever? And I always wanted to go, yes, we do. That's why we're still married. But they would never walk up to, especially a male thriller writer, and ask them that question. So
yeah. Do you still kill people?
Yeah. Do you still kill people? Are you for hire?
Yeah.
So I think it's going to take them aback a little bit, but most of my readers, I probably have a good 20 that I've become friends with over the last 10 years, and they read across the board. They're like me. If you put a printed word in front of them, they will read it.
Well, you could always have a writer's name for your more vicious books if you want, like,
my husband suggested that. You could always write under a pen name. I'm like, well,
yeah. Jackie McKade.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like Jack the Ripper McKade. I still like that Ripper part.
Jack R. McKade. There you go.
Yeah. Ripper McKade.
That's pretty good. I have to think about that
See?
one.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess, it's good because then it separates, and you can have them joined on your website and do all that stuff. But you can have it so that it's distinct, so that you don't get people you don't know that just pick up your book and all of a sudden they're like, "Holy cow, what happened to the cute dog?"
I know. Maybe the cute dog now has been reprogrammed, but
that's right.
That cute dog's got big teeth now. I don't know. Anyway, well, this is cool. So listen. So obviously you like to connect with readers and stuff like that. So what is your website, and what social media should they come find you on?
My website is jociemckade.com, and that's Jocie with a C. It usually has most of the information and links to all my books. Primarily, I'm on Facebook. A friend has tried to get me to go to Discord. I'm like, another new one to learn. You know how many we've learned over the years, gentlemen?
Right.
So those are where I am primarily. they can find me there, under Jocie McKade Books. And and I'm exclusive to Amazon. So if you want to see any of my books, are all on Amazon. And if you have Kindle Unlimited, they're all free to you with Kindle Unlimited users.
Well, there you go. Now, we'll put all that up on our website as well so that people can find it easily and get the spelling correct of your name. So we do all that. So we appreciate it. So now, everyone, let sleeping dogs lie. And it's a Hope and Pip cozy cyber mystery. And the author's our guest, Jocie McKade. So thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for having me today.
This has been a production of the House of Mystery Radio Show. To find out more about our show, guests, or hosts, go to our website at houseofmysteryradio.com.